Welcome back to Healing Mindset, beautiful souls. I am Nazish, and today we are stepping into a conversation designed for every seeker navigating this rapidly changing world. There's so much new identities, new paths, new circumstances, and with the new often comes fear. To guide us through this territory, we are joined by remarkable Audrey S. Arbe, whose mastery in clairvoyance, mysticism, karmic patterning, healing, and conscious living has helped countless people find clarity in chaos and wisdom in, in, in uncertainty. Tonight, we explore how to meet the unknown without shrinking and how to use fear not as a barrier but as a compass towards expansion. Audrey, welcome to Healing Mindset. I hope you yeah, it's a true honor to have you here.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Definitely. Let's begin with something universal. When people encounter something new, whether it's an opportunity or a challenge, what's the first inner response you believe they should pay attention to?
All right. When somebody encounters something new, and we are all, but most of us are in the process of encountering something new pretty regularly these days. First, say to pay attention to is your breathing. Make sure you're breathing slowly and evenly, because if you go like that kind of thing, not Kabbalah, but if you're breathing in that ragged way, you can bring fear up because you're not centered. And the other thing is I'm a healer. I've been doing this work for many years, and I've been on the planet a moment or two. And what I've noticed, including for myself, is if somebody has no who and what they are, and I don't mean only on the physical, although that's part of it. They can get, and this can include me, terrified of anything new. And a lot of people go to fear, which I find incredibly sad and actually tragic, rather than going, what is this? How can we learn from it? What can we share? What can we participate in? How does this benefit myself and or my client? So far is the Earth. We may be on other planets that can be part of or not part of this conversation. But the first thing is to get yourself centered. And one of the best ways to do that is with breathing. Inhale for 4, count of 4. Hold for a count of 2. Exhale for a count of 4. Do it at least 4 times. Slowly. That alone will help you get centered. Then you thing. And then if you know how to breathe with light and all that stuff, you add that to it.
That is such a beautiful answer. And it's also very fascinating. It really opens the door for our listeners to recognize why they are reacting, not just how they are reacting. Also, do you feel that initial reaction comes from an instinct conditioning or something more energetic?
That sort of depends on the person. And it's also, I'm going to say, our species kind of conditioning. I'm not, how do we want to say that? I'm somebody who investigates things on my own. When I was in the United States, I'm in Costa Rica right now, and my Spanish is nowhere near as I do speak slow Spanish. Para mis amigos, Costa Rica, hola, buenos dias, por vida. Okay, and those that don't speak Spanish, that is a wonderful, have been conditioned. And I'm going to say things that some people might get upset with. Please don't. Stay centered. Because if you get upset at any little thing someone says, you're not going to hear what they're saying. You'll be dealing with your, which could have been caused by what I call genetic karmic pattern conditioning you've had in past lives. And yes, I do feel we've had that. I know Bashar said it's all now and all here, and there's only one. I'm not quite that. I feel a little differently. So we have been, in my opinion, quote unquote, conditioned by past lives, current life, whatever the particular vibration is in the town, the city, country, whoever might be the alleged leader, but they're not all leaders, by the way. Some of them are like Knox. That's all I'll say on that. And should not be followed, by the way. Someone's a sociopath, do not follow them. Okay, heal yourself and put yourself in the light energy of light and love. That's how you deal with it. And so I do think there's been conditioning. I know that, well, I don't know, but when we first started out as a species, and I am one of the ones who does feel that maybe 200,000 years ago, 250,000 years ago, according to Greg Braden and others, our DNA was changed from the outside and chromosome was changed, which gave us what we are as humans or humans. That's so it's not sexist and all of that. So I feel that now those of us who choose it and on are on the brink, like literally right there, of being able to start evolving into or continue evolving into whether you want to call it human galacticus, human oh, got the word I was going to say, illuminatedness, that's not the word. But it's the next level. Because to me, we are a galactic species. They're not just an earthbound species, although that's been the case for a while. And if people refuse to pay attention to any of this, you, by the way, I apologize for that horrific noise from my laptop. I had it fixed. It came back with this noise. I will get it back to these people sometime this week. So I apologize. I lied. I am so not. You don't want me to. Thank you.
It's all yeah, it's all right. You don't have to worry about it. We can fix the little noise. Uh, so the way you mentioned about conditioning and everything, I feel like that is such a profound and such a distinct expression of everything that you have explained to us and to our listeners. But something that I feel is that fear can be incredibly sneaky and it often shows up disguised as logic or caution. How do you tell whether fear is protecting someone or limiting them?
Okay, so bring the answers right now, just so you know. So the first thing I do, I don't know if you can see this, is put your hands on your heart. I do right hand first, maybe because I'm a righty, but I do right hand first. Quiet. 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 And slowly breathe. Just like what I said before. 3 or 4, and then ask yourself, not what the world is saying, not none of that. How do you really feel? And start getting to know your own energy. Because if a person, and I used to be this person, walks around constantly fearful and nervous, and I was her, I was that woman, then this kind of thing can get them very, and there's no reason to that. Plus switch, when a person allows themselves, so there's a practice to keep themselves, for the most part, on a higher frequency. And that's the name of the game now, raising our frequency. Quote
That is
unquote.
so true.
Yeah, yeah, because when the disturbances show up, and folks, they will show up. And I think we're going to get a whole lot more, both from planet, and I'm a citizen of the United States. And so, yeah, I'm living right now in Costa Rica, which has its own issues. So I'm not immersed in that right now, for which I get thanks, by the way. And if you allow yourself, whoever you may go off and all this with whatever particular emotion or a whole lot of social media, I'm a member of a bunch. I just have not kept up. And, you're going to find yourself a little bit lost. Get into this competition thing. That's an old, never good, never was paradigm. The whole new thing is, and a lot of us have talked about this before, and it might sound very simplistic, but this is the new loving yourself. I have a seminar on that. Morph into the magic of self-love, okay? Which everybody needs to love themselves. To be perfect. I don't know anyone who is. And love yourself and have some patience with yourself. Nor do you need to be perfect. This whole thing about we're always in the light. Yeah. Okay, we may always be in the light, but that doesn't mean you may not have some anger, some upset, some other kinds of feeling. So tell yourself you're a horrible, disgusting, non-spiritual, or whatever kind of person. Just stop that dialogue, let it go, and see what might having you be upset about whatever it is. And if it's something that you can do something about, then do that. If it isn't, okay, I'm in my 80s. Look how I looked in my 20s. I don't see that time soon, okay? So what I do is make peace with how I look now. I still take care of myself. I still exercise. I still meditate. I still do these things. I'm just moving along through the years healthfully, for the most part, very healthfully. So you have to, but I recommend that you incorporate whatever you might think is the negative into what you think is the positive. So it's all one whole thing, WHOLE. So there isn't, oh, I'm just up here. Oh, I'm down there. No, we're a mixture. We are, it's like music. I love music. You listen to music and there's no bass, it loses. You can't just good, but slight violins. That's only a type of you can have various instruments that take and do their part. It's the same with life and energy. That does not mean allow yourself to incorporate negativity and insults and pejoration, being nasty and disrespectful. That's a no. Not to yourself, not to others, not to the earth, not to the planet. And if someone's going to ask us, I hear it in my head, observed by beings from elsewhere, yeah, we are. For sure. And have been for eons. This is nothing new. Then you ask yourself, if you were observing our planet from Earth and you could feel and see, what would you think of our species? Would you think we're evolving and growing, which we are? Would you think that we're degenerating and going backwards? And in some cases, frankly, I think we are also. What would you do with us? And when you look at that and release judgment, I'm still releasing judgment, still about certain things. I don't know if I'll ever be completely done with this. And when you start seeing and noticing and you feel, then you will get a clear sense to do for yourself. You need to be perfect to get that. What does that mean? A certain complexion? A certain kind of hair? I have curly hair. Is perfect straight hair? Not in my life. If you have straight hair, that's your perfect. I have curly hair. Yeah, curly. And for me, that's great. What I have. So whatever you have, you maximize. You have to wear makeup? No, I like none. So I do. I use hair color. And does everyone need to? Absolutely not. We have choice about all of this. So if you want to know, are you really scared? Is it your feeling? Is it someone else? You need to start knowing what your vibration is. That's why I teach breathing attunements. By the way, you could learn them on my podcast. Can I drink? Okay, so I'm going to get one. My podcast is it? Yeah, I can. It's YOUTUBE .com/ that little at thing that we all use, and then moving forward now 20 that will get you to my podcast. And I've gotten a little casual in it. And I teach breathing attunement in every episode. Why? Because we need it. You could say, well, I used to do that. And then you can be a little snippy, will say, have you stopped breathing? Is that no longer a part of your life? We are always breathing. And the more clean oxygen we bring into ourselves and fill our lungs, the higher energetically we can get. I'm not talking about substances here. The higher our frequency can become. The more we clean out the clutter, limiting belief systems, and anger and upset and pain and all this stuff that a person may have experienced, but letting it go, sending it to the universe, ask it to be filled with light, ask it to come back to you as light. You are sovereign over no one else, not me, not Savage. You are the one who is responsible for who you are. If you find yourself blaming, oh, they did this to me, they did that, look what that idiot, start letting that go. What you're doing, whether you know it or not, is weakening who you are. Whether it's objectively true or not, who did what, start looking at what am I doing about this? Energetically, on the planet, I do a podcast, I create art. The art that I create actually uplifts frequency, really pretty, and all of that. So that's what I'll say about that.
That is a beautiful way to put it. And I feel like your insight really exposes how universal our internal barriers can be. And it gives the listeners permission to explore them without shame or fear. You have worked deeply with clairvoyance and karmic patterning. How do you interpret fears that feel inherited or ancestral, the kind we can't trace to a personal memory?
Okay, so that's why the guides, I think it was them, gave me genetic karmic patterning. It's a little different than epigenetics. Epigenetics, insofar as I know, is all about the DNA. Genetic karmic patterning can happen through, it's also DNA, by the way, but it can also happen to who he's associated with, what society you've lived in, where you've been, what people have said. So it's good to have affirmations. Is that going to do the whole thing? No, it doesn't. You need to have, with your benefit, healing. I am an energy healer. There's a lot of energy healers on the planet. I am not the only one. And we, those of us that, and other kinds of healing techniques. And I'm a psychic. You don't like that word? I'm a clairvoyant. I'm a seer. Pick the word you like. I don't really care because everyone's different. And I can tune in on someone, and I do, and feel, see, get what it is that's going on with them, what's really theirs, what came from the mother, what came from the father, what's from that genetic line. I'll be shown it, and what can be done about it. And because some people call me I mean, there's all names, okay? So I'm not going to get all fancy with this because I don't even know what the new words are. Um, there is a way to clear some of that energy. If anybody watches me while I do this, I'm literally clearing energy and to the light and then helping fill the other person with healing energy. We part of the field. We are all connected. Everything, even you go, all of us, through and beyond time. So pick who you choose to be with as much as you can. That's part of why I'm in Costa Rica, by the way. Allow yourself to grow. And no, I'm not living some fancy multi-million-dollar life. I'm living extremely simply. Okay? And photo that I'm near the beach. Yes. And all of this kind of stuff. So it's up to the person to get to know who they are. Like when you wake up in the morning scared, do you wake up happy? Do you wake up breathing? Do you take some slow breaths. Drink a little bit of water. Go to the bathroom. Be the first thing someone has to do. Take care of what I call biologic necessity. And then look at what you're creating that day. I have several things I do every day, every morning. Certain breathing attunements, certain affirmations, certain prayers. I send light energy out daily. I ask you to receive it also because I'm part of all of us. Have a practice. Tell me I don't have time, I'm too busy. No, you're not. If you're too busy in your mind to have some kind of practice, that could even be 10 minutes daily to help you get centered and lifted, what are you doing? Are you like a hamster on that little hamster wheel? I mean, really, what? What are the things you consider important? What's doing this and gets to know who they are, then they can lift that, which is part of what's happening. And I can help you. There are geniuses that have, there's a lot of good people, men and women, black and white, and any other kind of coloration, tall and short. I say that because one guy is 6'4". I am 4'10" and a smidge. So I'm small. And well, people say I'm small. I think they're just tall. So it's all a perspective. So really get to know who you are and send love to who you are. And the stuff you might not be so fond of, see what you can do to shift that. And yes, take programs, go to a healer who knows how to do this stuff, and let yourself be, I use the term tweaked. I have a sense of humor, and allow that to happen. If anyone's going to ask us, I could hear it. What do I think is going to happen in humanity's future? I do feel some people will freak out. It's already happening. You don't need to. Some are going to evolve tremendously, some at different rates. I do feel we will flourish. I feel we have a couple of years of stuff going on the planet. I'm just going to let that be. And then we will pick ourselves up as we go through that new way. Why do we need this? Have you looked at the way? Have you seen the air? You're not supposed to see it. Going on with animals? Do you see what's going on in the oceans? We needed a time to stop and clear the mess that we have made. And it's us that did this. We're not being punished. God, Goddess, Source, Allah, Great Spirit, Oshun, whatever your language is, Yeshua, did not do this. This is stuff the women have done. And it's time for us. And I feel we can. Do I feel everyone will? No, I don't. I feel some won't. Blame and yell at other people. If someone's way of being, by the way, Big Blue, is basically to yell at everything and insult everyone, that's not. They are weak. They are not strong. They are weak. And that's not who you want to affiliate with. If that is you, start looking at what are you so scared of? What would you not make some level of peace with? Conditioning have you had by whomever it is that brought you up or whatever you saw in your environment? What are your isms? Do you think this color is better than that color? Do you think this size is better than that size? Start looking at that without blame. No blame, no judgment. It's like you're reviewing a movie. Oh, I like this. I don't like that. Well, yeah. So that you can get as clear an aspect of yourself. And you will know, I'll put this really simply. If something is a nice vibration or a yuck vibration, when it's nice, your heart's going to want to open. You're just going to want to embrace it and smile. When it's nick, you can feel nervous, you can feel scared, you can feel heavy, you can feel dim. Pay attention to that. Your own body, not just your mind. Mind can play tricks. Your own body will let you know. And to help that happen, it's helpful to eat decent food. I recommend, I'm mostly raw vegan. You don't have to be a raw vegan, but you do need to eat some organic fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. You want to eat meat, it's not my thing, but if that's what you want to do, Make sure that it's clean. It hasn't been chock full of who knows what. And eat it in balance with whatever else, because everybody's different. So I'm not going to tell you what you have to do unless I'm tuning in on you. And then, yes, you could ask me and I will tell you what I'm shown. But in general, everyone's unique and everyone comes from a different whatever we came from. Everyone's going to a different whatever they might be. We've had different conditioning on the earth, but from different planetary energies, from different beings, from wherever. This is an amazing time we are living in. It is not a time to capitulate into fear and giving up. It is a time to take pauses to kind of give yourself some space, some peace, and allow that. Okay, that's what I think I'll say.
That is a beautiful perspective, and that with so much of compassion. And I'm pretty sure a lot of our listeners will feel completely relatable when they listen to this, and it is going to help a lot of them
Oh, good.
with the new and the fear that they have. It's really beautiful to hear all of that, Audrey. So, Audrey, before we close, I know many of our listeners will want to stay connected and dive deeper into your work. Where can they find you online?
Okay, so on the website, but I don't have anyone managing it right now, so I hope it's still. It's Audrey now, AUDRYEW.com. My email is Audrey, AUDRYENOW @gmail.com. My podcast, please watch it. It's a healing podcast. Okay. It's very casual because I don't yet know the technical stuff, so it's simple. Um, but it's what is it? YouTube.com that app thing, and then moving forward now 22. And even though I'm in Costa Rica, and I am, and I'm glad, and I miss the States, but I'm glad to be here. I'm on WhatsApp, maybe getting a new name. I also have the US SIM card. So if you're in the States, if you have a United States number, it's free to call me. And they're telling me I could give my number. I get a little nervous about that. Number
Definitely.
is
Okay.
okay, it's +1 that I'm in Costa Rica, 917 from New York, 917-494-0628. I will accept any decent call. Do not look to call or harass because I don't accept that, by the way.
That,
And if any,
yeah, I get it. Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah, if anyone does that to anyone, they are harming themselves.
Hey,
They really,
thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all these details with us, Audrey. I will make sure to include all of them into the show notes. And thank you, Audrey, for bringing such clarity, compassion, and spiritual intelligence to this conversation. The fear is not our downfall, it is often the invitation to rise, evolve, and meet ourselves more bravely than before. To everyone listening, take one bold step towards the life calling you forward. You don't need to have it all figured out. You only need to begin. Until next time, I am Nazish, and this is Healing Mindset.